So in today's lesson, we're going to take a look at production. So what is production? Production is simply the provision of goods and services in order to satisfy human needs and wants. Okay, so if you are able to provide goods and services, then you are productive, or the business is productive. That's the meaning of production in commerce or the business world. If you own a barber shop, okay, if on Monday you have 2 customers, then on Tuesday you have 4 customers, it means on Tuesday your business was more productive than on Monday because you provided more service to humans. Okay, so that's what production is. So there are 3 branches of production, namely commerce, which is the subject we're studying. Okay, it is just a branch of production. Without it, production is incomplete. Okay, then there is direct services and industry. Okay, so to understand how each of these branches of production are, let's take a look at them. Okay, we're going to start with industry. Okay, so we start with industry. So industry basically deals with the extraction of natural resources or raw materials and transforming them into semi-finished or finished goods. So to give you a picture of what this means is people need doors. They need to feel safe, okay, when they have a door on their house, so that thieves can just easily get inside the house. So these doors, where do they come from? They come from trees. Okay, so the tree, the wood, that's a raw material or a natural resource. Okay, so a natural resource or raw material is the one that has to be made into a door. How does that happen? That raw material has to be taken to the industry, then there it's going to be processed so that it is made into a door. So there are 2 ways in which they can there are 2 types of products we can have at the end. We can have a door that maybe doesn't have handles. Okay, so it might need to be taken somewhere where they're going to put those handles. It can be sold like that, then those who are going to buy, they're going to put handles and then they're going to sell. Or they can make a complete door. So that one without handles is a semi-finished good. Then the one without handles is the one with handles is a finished good. So let me just recapitulate that. So a door that has been made in the industry but need other additional things for it to be ready for use, it's a semi-finished goods. Okay, then the one that has everything, the handles, the varnish, everything, it's a finished good. Okay, so industries, they just transform natural resources to semi-finished goods or finished goods. The next branch is, of course, commerce, which we are studying and deals with the distribution of both raw materials and finished goods from the source or place of extraction or manufacture into the place of demand or scarcity. The definition might seem a bit complicated, but it's not. So distribution of both raw materials and finished goods. So commerce is not just about finished goods, but also raw materials. So that wood from the forest, how it is taken to the industry, whatever is involved is commerce. Transport, toll gate fees, taxes, everything is commerce. Okay, so then it can also be distribution of finished goods, taking the same dough that has been made from the industry to the market. It's commerce. Okay, so that's what this means. From the source is where it comes from, or place of extraction, where it is being taken from. Okay, for example, where the wood is taken from the tree, that's the place of extraction. Or manufacturing, where the dough is being manufactured. To to the market or the place of demand or scarcity. Demand means where it is needed. Scarcity means where it is rare. Okay, you can't see a door there. So when you take a door, people would want to get it. Okay, so in short, commerce is everything that is involved in the distribution of both raw materials and finished goods. Okay, from the place of extraction or industry to the place of demand or scarcity. The last branch of production is what are called direct services, which are just services which are essential or important in enhancing production. Okay, so this includes the police, doctors, etc. Okay, as you are transporting your wood to the industry, you may need that wood to be protected. You may need security guards. Okay, the workers who are working to cut that wood have to be healthy, so the doctor comes in. So those services that also contribute to production, to make sure that production is efficient, are called direct services. So these are the three branches of production. Now we look at methods of production. So there are two main types of there are two main types of method of production. These are, the first one is called direct production. So it's just the production of goods for own use. Okay, so if you are doing anything so that you use it, if you get a tree, you cut it to make your own door, that's direct production. So here are some features of direct production. It is done on a subsistence level. What it means is you don't do this to sell, you do it just to sustain your needs. Okay, there is no need for exchange with others. Like I said, you just do it for yourself so that you use it. Okay, so those are the features of direct production. Also, it is meant only to satisfy one's own needs and wants, not those of other people. So that is direct production. So the other method of production is indirect production, which is the production for the benefit of others. Okay, you are producing so that others benefit. Here are the features. The first is it involves trading what has been produced. So whatever has been produced, you have to trade it with other people. Okay, it also helps one obtain what he or she can't produce. You have made the dough, but you don't need the dough. You need roofs. A friend has roofs, doesn't have a dough, you exchange. Okay, and it depends upon trade. Without trade, indirect production is not possible. Okay, and again, it makes people to specialize one field. Okay, so because you're producing and you are able to to give other people to get other things that you want, then you become good at that. Okay, imagine if you could make your own meal, your own pots, your own water, your own tomato. If you'll be doing that, it's a lot of work, so you can't become that good. But if your job is just to learn how to produce meal, and then you'll be exchanging it with those who produce tomatoes, you'll become very good at making meal. That's what it means. Makes people to specialize in one field. Okay, and when you do that, you become good and you can sell your value. Okay, you can even go somewhere. Oh, me, I know how to make meal, so let me be making for you, and you'll be giving me this. Okay, lastly, we'll look at factors of production. Okay, so factors of production are essential resources or inputs that must be in place before any production of goods or services can take place. So these are things that are supposed to be there for production to be possible. Okay, so there are four factors of production. The first one is land. Without land, the production is just not possible. Without land, production is not possible. However, this definition of land is not the land that we are thinking, where there is soil and all. Okay, we define it as it implies to the place or venue where production is done. So land is just about the place or venue where production is done. It doesn't necessarily mean where there's earth, where there's soil. Okay, let's think of a boat that is on the ocean, and that's where maybe they do their production. Maybe the type of activity they are in is fishing. Can you say they're not producing? Okay, they are getting those fish so that they can go and sell to satisfy human needs and wants. Hence, they are involved in production. Okay, so you can't say no, there's no land, so there's no way there's production. There is production. Okay, so that's what you should keep in mind. Okay, land implies the place or venue where production is done. It includes all kinds of natural resources found on earth and underground. Examples of lands are soil, water, trees. Okay, so all these are they constitute land. The providers of land are called landlords or landladies. Okay, and the benefit or reward to land is rent or rates. So if you have land, you'll be getting rent or rates. The next factor of production is labor. So this is the human effort that is applied in production, whatever kind of human effort, whether by means of thought, where they think to produce, or by means of physical, where they get shovels, start doing the job. That is labor. Okay, so it may be divided into manual or physical, which is called unskilled, or professional or mental, which is called skilled labor. Okay, so skilled labor normally works with the mind, not where you have to make your hands dirty. So providers of labor are called workers. The reward for labor is a salary or a wage. So if you are providing labor, you'll be getting a salary or wage. The next factor of production is capital. So capital are resources that man used to produce goods and services. Whatever used to produce goods and services is called capital. Okay, example is money, building, machinery, raw materials. I know most of us think that money is the only capital. No, even a building, if you have a building, that's a capital. Machines, it's a capital. Okay, raw materials, it's a capital. So providers of capital are called capitalists. Okay, and the reward for capital is interest. If you have capital, you'll be getting interest. The last factor is enterprise or entrepreneurship. Okay, it is the ability to organize other factors of production. Okay, so the ability to organize these four factors of production, that is called enterprise or entrepreneurship. It involves making decisions. Okay, examples of decisions are expansion of the business, investing, buying a new vehicle, planning back, and all. So providers are called entrepreneurs, organizers, or enterprise. Okay, these are the providers of entrepreneurship or enterprise. But what's the benefit of having an enterprise or being an entrepreneur? So entrepreneurs receive a reward called profit or loss. Okay, not just profit but also loss. So we did start with branches of production. Let's just go a bit deep into those three branches we discussed before we can look at something and end the lesson. So like we discussed at the beginning of the lesson, that production is classified into three main branches: industry, commerce, and direct services. So let's look at industry in details. So industry is concerned with the obtaining of raw materials from wherever, the processing of these raw materials into finished goods, and it is divided into what is called extractive or primary industry and manufacturing or secondary industry. Okay, so that's what industry is all about. Also, there is another example of secondary industry is construction. Okay, so there's primary industry, which is also which has one type, which is extractive, which involves extracting raw material from the source. Okay, then now there's where finished goods are being manufactured, which is a type of a secondary industry. Okay, and also construction, which is a type of secondary industry. Okay, the reason why they are called secondary industries is because they depend on input from primary industry or extractive industry. So extractive industry is the one that gets raw materials from the source, then once it gets, manufacturing and construction make use of that. Then commerce, of course, we know what commerce is trade and aids to trade. Okay, it contributes to the satisfaction of human wants by distributing goods and services to consumers through warehouse. We talked about this. Okay, so let's not waste too much time on commerce. We discussed it in the intro. Going to direct services. So these are non-material goods. I want to emphasize on that. Remember, we talked about police, teachers, doctors as being part of the direct service. So they're not material goods. Okay. They contribute to the satisfaction of human wants by providing a variety of public and personal services. Like this tuition that I'm doing, this is a direct service. Okay. So we end today's lesson by looking at the interdependency of commerce and industry. We want to see how commerce and industry depend on each other. Okay, remember, they're all just branches of production. So industry is concerned with obtaining raw materials and process them into finished goods. Okay. So of course, like we said, they're divided into extraction, manufacturing, and construction. On the other hand, commerce concerns all activities which aid extractive industry to final consumer. So let me break this. Industry, what it is concerned with is extracting raw materials from wherever. For example, the example of the door. So getting the wood from the forest, that's the job of industry. Changing this wood into a door, that's the job of industry. But for this wood to be taken from the forest to manufacturing and construction, which are secondary industry, so that it can be turned into a finished good, the commerce is needed in between. Okay, and when a finished good is made, for it to reach the people who are going to buy, in between there is commerce. Okay, that's how the two depend on each other. So industry extracts good from wherever, so it can get raw material from wherever. Then this raw material has to be processed so that it is in a form that people can buy. That's the job of industry. But for this material to be distributed from where it is taken from to where it's supposed to be processed, that's commerce. And from where it's supposed to be processed to the market or to where people would buy, that's commerce. So that's how these two depend on each other. Without commerce, then industry won't industry cannot exist. Okay, because yes, it will be extracting, to be manufacturing, to be constructing, but people won't be buying because the finished goods won't be reaching people. Okay, for that finished good to reach people, commerce is needed, and for that finished good, and for the raw material to move from where it is extracted to where it's going to be processed, that's commerce. So it will be impossible for industries to operate without activities of commerce. That is in a nutshell. So these are trade and aids to trade, just emphasizing on what commerce is, okay, in case you have forgotten. So this marks the end of the lesson. For those who are doing mathematics, the pamphlet is still on sale. And for those who are doing English, there is also one with composition. Okay, see you in the next lesson.